Five minutes each. And I just want to say I agree with Deputy McGrath in relation to the report that he raised and our failure to deal with it in the Dáil and the amount of time that we are forced to give to this topic because of the utter failure of governance. And in the meantime, 15, 16 and 17-year-olds are being collected in taxis, subjected to sexual abuse in hotels, and the hotels have expressed concern, and we have never discussed that in this Dáil. In relation to this matter, I want to welcome the Minister's detailed speech. I want to welcome her acknowledgement that there have been serious corporate failings. I disagree that they've come to light in the last 2 weeks. I think there was ample evidence before that within the organisation, and it would seem from a Sunday Times article that serious questions were being asked last year in 22, if not before that. So something is wrong somewhere with the reporting mechanisms. I appreciate that you're now setting up two reviews plus putting in a forensic accountant. It's notable that the first review is in relation to the review of governance and culture, the second one contractor fees, HR and other matters, and you've been very clear about that, but there's no time limit on the report. When do we expect these reports from these two committees? It's an essential piece of information. And then we have a forensic accountant coming in, absolutely no idea when he's going to report either. And this, of course, is on top of the other report that's already being carried out by Grant Thornton, and another report due. So that's 5 reports on top of 2 committees, the Media Committee and the Public Accounts Committee, and we seem to be nowhere nearer finding out what's happened. So I just want to say that first. I'm not going to go into the minutiae of this. I think you've appointed the committees and the forensic accountant, subject to you giving us the time limits. The committees are doing their work on the minutiae, and I would hope that this matter would be brought to a relatively speedy conclusion. We need public service broadcasting. We need it adequately funded if we're going to have a democracy that means anything. And without a publicly funded public service broadcasting, we're in serious trouble. And here we are now looking at something that shouldn't have happened. Let me say, I don't think it's unusual. I spent 4 years on a Public Accounts Committee, which I'm on record as saying was university education. I was singularly unimpressed by the presidents of the universities that came before us, by Boward Nagan, by the Horse Racing Ireland, by some of the VECs, a theme permeating the whole lot that give as little information as you can and get as much as you can with it. So the obvious questions, how could something be labelled consultancy fees? Why did RTE underwrite an agreement between Mr. Tubridy and the commercial entity? The status of the register of interest, where is that at? And the use of private agents for a number of the stars, which I always had a problem with that description. And actually, it was brought to my attention today, going back in 2018, when I was on the Public Accounts at that point and going forward, RTE came before us, and we thank them for coming before us on that day because they were not obliged to come before us. And one of the first questions I asked the Controller and Auditor General, why was that? And helpfully there was a briefing paper given to us at that stage. So RTE was subject to audit by the Controller and Auditor General until 1990 under statutory provisions introduced in 66. The Broadcasting Act 1990, I won't go into all of that, but it was under the remit until 1990, and then it was taken out of the remit. Significantly, in 1993, the Controller and Auditor General Amendment Act extended the mandate of the Controller and Auditor General, but again specifically excluded commercial bodies, including RTE. So each government has been responsible for what's happened here in relation to RTE, and utterly failing to deal with adequate funding for RTE and recognising the importance of it. And so on top of that, we had a white paper that told us that why we couldn't have oversight by the Controller and Auditor General. From 92 onwards, we were repeatedly told by various governments and policy that oversight wasn't good by the Controller and Auditor General, particularly when we were talking about commercial outfit or a part of a commercial outfit. So I don't seek to demonise any individual here. The system has utterly failed, And now we have 5 entities going to look at it. And all along, each government actually actively colluded with that system where RTE was forced to look and go in a commercial manner.